Russ Liquid, aka Russell Scott. Originally from Portland, Oregon, but I live in New Orleans, Louisiana now.
I'm Andrew Block. I live in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Really good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, it's Carlia Scintilla.
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 Yeah, I know. It's a bit of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Yeah, scintilla. It means to sparkle.
To sparkle.
Yeah.
All right. I like that.
You go first.
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, actually, Midwest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm from a little town. I'm from Sydney, actually, originally. That's where I was born. But, yeah, just raised in the country around Sydney, in the west, in the south.
This will be my third Sonic Bloom. This is your first one.
Yeah, it's my first one.
Sweet. Breaking them in.
Excited to be here.
Yeah, we were here last year. Yeah, we did our thing.
Yes, Desert Dwellers played the last two before this, so this will be our third Sonic Boom.
I have. I played the year before last.
We have, yeah. Last year. South Park. It's awesome.
I have. This is my fourth year playing Sonic Bloom, and the first year I played, it was one of the first festivals I'd ever played, and then it invited me back every time. So yeah, fourth year.
Oh wow, well, so many. Jazz was kind of my first love, so like Miles Davis, Freddie Hubbard, Lee Morgan, Coltrane, Duke Ellington, Count Basie. My homie Gibbs is playing tonight as well, and he's been a huge inspiration. Actually, this guy right here has been a huge inspiration. He's an amazing musician, guitar player, and he's turned me on to a lot of great music.
I'm big into a lot of the old school funk and soul stuff. I grew up on like the Allman Brothers and a lot of the blues. I'm a guitar player, so Stevie Ray Vaughan, Hendrix, all that stuff. And it's cool getting to collaborate with Russ. It's gotten me more into the electronic scene. I was never really into the electronic scene.
Herbie Hancock, just because he's the, synth funk genius of planet Earth. And yeah, his music and the musicians he worked with for the Headhunters are amazing, like massive inspiration for me. Also Tool, the band Tool, like a lot of like power and energy in that music. And then in terms of like getting into music creation, it was really this Aussie artist called Tetrameth who makes trance, like psychedelic trance music. Yeah, his music was really something that blew me apart, wide open, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Oh, and of course Tipper as well. Tipper's been a long-standing influence. Yeah.
Sweet.
What about you? What's your music?
My music.
Oh, that's a good one. Seal.
No.
No, you got some good ones in there. You got some taste.
He's making fun of me because I really grew up in the Midwest, and so there's a lot of R&B influence. And one of the first concerts that I ever went to was actually Seal. And
Just by a road.
yeah, that's
exactly
that album was pretty legendary. I chuck it on once in a while.
Amazing songwriter.
For me personally, the musicians that have inspired me most in my life have been a vast array from the 60s of psychedelic music, but especially John McLaughlin and his Mahavishnu Orchestra from the 70s was a huge influence on me. And Pink Floyd, Spangle, and pretty much everything that Simon Posford has done, from Hallucinogen, Younger Brother, Eat Static was a huge influence on me in the early 90s, and it's still a big influence on me. And God, I mean, I could go on and on forever. There's so many. It's like, I love all kinds of music, so it's hard to really pinpoint it in the end.
For me as a performing artist, this is my 5th year at Sonic Bloom, and it's funny enough because Desert Dwellers is actually the music that inspires me the most to move, to train, to create acts, to create a show, so definitely very blessed to actually be working with them now, doing live stage shows.
I love everything, but I love that soul bounce right now, so that's really kind of shifted me, you know, even deeper into a soul direction, which is cool, or just to really bring more feeling to the music. A recent inspiration is Flume.
The entire globe, especially the continent of Africa, and all the music that is the offspring of that continent that ended up in the Caribbean, South America, the blues in the South, the desert blues in Mali and Burkina Faso. We play a lot of organic instruments that come from these places, and people like Taj Mahal and Zap Mama, Bobby McFerrin, John Coltrane, Led Zeppelin,
Ry Cooder,
absolutely.
And I think we're influenced by, you know, the modern electronic producers like Tipper and Amon Tobin, like people who are like really doing some sound design, experimental.
Beats Antique, Dirt Wire, Emancipator. Yeah, I guess those would be the top few.
I mean, just a great community of artists, and it's such a well-rounded festival with visual artists, music, yoga, I mean, all kinds of different things that, you know, you'll probably see a lot more festivals sort of going that route, not just being a music festival or music and art, but really incorporating the full body experience.
I feel that due to the change of location and having like a lot of trees and the weather's nicer here, there's more oxygen. I feel like first and foremost that's going to enhance people's experience here overall, and then combine that with, like, you know, a lot of good music obviously, but a lot of awesome workshops as well. I mean, you know, if we're going to call these transformational festivals, the festival itself has to step up and offer things that are going to transform people, you know, so yeah.
I think a lot of the performance as well, the way the lineup is really structured as a journey, just on the main stage and also the other stages, I'm really excited actually. There's about 4 or 5 acts that really harmonize with each other, and I think that the more cultivation of the actual journey aspect and how we're all connected and how one music basically leads into the other, so people can really take everything in layer by layer by layer and have truly a journey the whole time, I think is brilliant, and more of that and more inspiring to really put a lot of intention and consciousness into what the festivals are offering.
Each festival has its own impact in general. I'm not sure how much each festival has of an impact on each other. I know that this Sonic Bloom to me seems like a big upgrade on the production side. This location makes a big difference for them. I think it's their best location. The elevation here really helps a lot and keep people with more energy.
I mean, it looks like it's just bringing people from all over. I know people that came from, you know, East Coast, Chicago, California, all over. So I think it's establishing itself as just like a great place to be. Super, just open, you know, open arms kind of energy. Everyone in Colorado is super warm.
Well, I think Sonic Bloom's been building organically for 10 years, right? This is 10-year anniversary. Happy 10-year anniversary. Sonic Bloom, Jamie Janover.
Family reunion.
Jamie Jamover, the Jam Master. I mean, Jamie's an old friend, and it's been awesome to see him start this. And I think we met him right when he was starting this festival, so it's been really cool to see him. He's been a pillar in the festival community for a long time, always playing music and inspiring people to play music, and he's a real creative guy. So, you know, just props to Jamie for making this grow for 10 years.
This is the 10-year anniversary, and it seems like they've definitely gone bigger this year, which is cool to see. So yeah, I guess kind of just stepping it up from, you know, it started, as a lot of these things start, as like really underground events, and it's cool to see them like get to this, you know, like a really big point.
That was sick!
Music should be the shower that washes away the dust of everyday life.
If you want to be a pop artist, you kind of have to sound like a pop artist now, but you can really be yourself. And there's so many great, you know, festivals like Sonic Bloom that if you do what you love, which is what you should be doing, the people who like what you do will find you. And it's relatively easy to, you know, do what you love and actually make a living at it.
Well, I guess we're not trying, because trying is a form of not doing. So we definitely have an intention in the music. And for me, that started with the intention of music to awaken and heal and inspire others, because that's what I experienced from artists like Tetrameth, like I mentioned before. And since we've come together to co-create, the intention has stayed somewhat the same, but just become a little bit more detailed in like how we're intending to connect people to the ancient tribal roots of this planet, to connect people to the earth especially, you know, and of course the stars, but really it's about connecting deeper with the earth. And that's kind of our biggest thing at the moment, is how can we create a journey that's going to assist people in connecting deeper. And of course we're just creating the container. It's not like I would like to force any of my ideals or perspectives on anyone. It's like, let's just create a field of potential, and those who immerse themselves in the field can choose to take whatever they want and then apply that.
I think weaving in the mythos and the intention, as Yegan said, bridging the universal understandings of who and what we are, and really understanding that a lot of the mainstream culture has been ripped away from that. So information and infusing and creating these colorful soundscapes with the words and with the performance, really to activate people and remembering their connection with something that feels almost like a dream. But then when they start to look at it and feel into it, it opens these doorways that are basically blueprints of the human story and the human understanding, but we're fusing that intentionally to call to people who are looking and searching deep in their soul for something bigger than themselves, and they don't really know what that is. And so they're drawn at first to the music, but then as they go deeper, they feel the story within the music, and then they hear the words, and then they see maybe the performance, and things start to open and open and open and give them that experience of touching the infinite. Yeah.
Well, with Desert Dwellers, we've always leaned towards a tribal psychedelic sound with a lot of Middle Eastern vocals and ethnic sounds from different types of music around the world.
Just to inspire people that there's no reason why you think you cannot do something. You know, people tell themselves they can't, but if you just tell yourself you can and you do that repeatedly, you'll do it.
Yeah, I feel like the new album Riptide is a sort of a commentary on the environmental state we're in, the social state we're in, where we're actually, people are admitting that global change or climate change is real, and that like we need to do something about it, you know. And so Evan wrote this great song called Big Change, which really addresses that. And Riptide is sort of like the idea of like being caught in a current and being pulled in, you know. It's sort of like this loss of control, and sort of in a way it feels like that. It feels like we're just being swept up by the cycles of the earth right now. We gotta like figure out what we're doing.
I wanna convey I guess just some realities about the current situation in the world. There's a lot of things that are really not functioning in a lot of different ways, and I hope to inspire people in some way through my music to acknowledge those things and confront them, and hopefully be able to move past them at some point.
Next year, Russ Liquid is going to be a band, and this is the first step. And that's where my roots are. Is I used to play in bands, and I stopped doing that unfortunately because couldn't support myself doing it. And I also love like production and the infinite new color of sounds you get to work with. That is the electronic world. But yeah, the future is I'm going to take everything that I've learned in the years I've been doing the electronic thing and incorporate that with live musicians.
The near future, we're doing we're off to Europe for the summer for 2 months. Then we've got fall tour with the Desert Dwellers, and then we've got a possible journey to Hawaii. We're really excited to go there and share some art. We haven't been to that magical place yet. and then Guatemala for New Year's, Australia after that, and then we'll be somewhere like March or April next year. So yeah, there's a lot happening between now and then.
Well, what we did last night here at Sonic Bloom was definitely what we're planning on doing in the future as Desert Dwellers. We want to create a stage show, and not necessarily a full band in the traditional sense, but we want to have multiple live musicians on stage with us. We have a lot of instrumentation in our music. We have a really great flute player that'll start playing with us soon. We work with various singers that are going to be singing with us more often at our shows. And then we want to bring in more of the performance aspect to it. That's Tammy Firefly's side of things here. And we also want to bring in a visual aspect to it. We're planning on building a stage structure.
I'm going to put out a full-length down-tempo EP. It's called Love Is Waiting. I was going to release it as an EP, but then I decided I just want to put it as an LP. And I'm also a vocalist, and I'm feeling really inspired lately, so I'm writing a lot more lyrics and songs, so I want to put a full-length vocal album. And those are the projects that are on my plate. I'm just kind of chipping away.
Where are we going? We're going
to the East Coast this summer.
Yeah,
It's gonna
first
be
time.
hot and sweaty and lots of dancing.
Yeah, July and August on the East Coast. First time Dirt Wire is going over there.
I'll be doing a full-length release in the fall, and doing a very big tour.